It's time to introduce you to another Q2 Super Senior.
Yeah, we've gotten some great nominations since we started this segment. This week's Super Senior is a cowboy poet who often travels to history events and conferences in the state to read her poetry about farm and ranch life in Montana, among other things. She's had a lot to write about in her long life.
She runs up to Goldie and quickly grabs the reins.
You could say Scotty Bettise has a way with words.
She tries to splint the broken bone, doing the best she can, knowing she must ride for help, leave the twins with her little man.
At the age of 90, she still writes poetry, cowboy poetry being her specialty.
A lot of my poems are about horses. We always had horses, and as I was growing up.
The inspiration for her poems often coming from stories handed down about life on a homestead in eastern Montana and from her mother, who was a bit of a poet herself.
They just memorized so much poetry. And my mother just little spurts of poetry coming out of her mouth always. Here's the way she got me up in the morning. Up and at 'em with a heart for any fate, still pursuing, still perceiving, learn to labor and to wait. So this is my story.
Farming, ranching, growing up in Lambert, Montana, just some of the subjects she's written about. She's also penned poems about her time working as a nurse. She started at St. Vincent Hospital back in the 1950s.
This is her uniform when she was a student.
Joan McCoy says Scotty was a trailblazer.
She started ENA, the Emergency Nurses Association here in Billings, doing the first 30 minutes. She was on the burn team, and then of course she was one of the first flight nurses too.
That was interesting. Yeah. I was always so worried about coping with whatever patient I was going after that I didn't ever worry about the helicopter part of it. This is our group. This is our medical group.
As a nurse, she was part of the planning committee for one of Montana's most memorable events, the Centennial Cattle Drive, even riding her horse in it. A life with a lot of subject matter to write about.
And remember, if you'd like to nominate someone for this segment, you can do so by clicking on the Super Seniors tab. It's right there at the top of our website, ktvq.com.